Okay, I want to talk about the movie. Encanto's great. Go watch it. I know 99% of you probably already have, and the other 1% is tired of seeing everyone talking about it. But I do still highly encourage you to go watch it. Also, heads up, I might pronounce some names wrong. It's the R's. I can't roll my R's. I know it's silly, and everyone has tried to help me, and I've tried, but it's never worked out for me. So, sorry, I'm doing my best. So why do I care so much? Well, that's the question now, isn't it? The thesis for this whole video, really. Why did I like Encanto so much? The first time I watched it, I definitely enjoyed it, but a few days later I found myself looking up the songs to listen to again. Then shortly after that, I decided, well, if I'm gonna be listening to the soundtrack, I might as well watch the movie, and then this thing that hasn't happened in so long happened, where I immediately wanted to then watch the movie all over again. How? What is it about this movie that's gripped me so much? Well, let's talk about it. First, it's really been a long time since I've cared about a Disney animated movie. Zootopia was fine, Tangled was okay. I fell asleep halfway through Onward, and I never even got around to watching Moana. And fun fact, and this is actually important to know for this review, I hate Frozen. Encanto succeeds so much where all those other movies have failed for me. What stuck out to me the most after I first watched the movie was the fact that virtually none of the Disney's classic tropes can be found here. Subversion number 1. There's no Prince Charming. And yeah, they've tried doing that before. Ew, Anna didn't marry that dude right away. Wow, how different, right? No, because she did still get with the dude at the end of the movie. Yeah, they were just dating, but still. Don't pretend this isn't virtually the same exact thing as every other Disney and they lived happily ever after. But Encanto really just completely subverts this. We see Mariano in his attempted arrangement with Isabella, but really there's no Prince Charming. Mirabel never finds her true love or whatever. She doesn't pine after a boy this whole movie, and the movie never implies it's an important element for her character either, which is insane and practically not heard of anymore. There's always some sort of love interest in the end. That leads me to Subversion number 2. Mom and Dad are alive. Another idea Disney has been attempting to subvert with its other recent movies is the idea that Mom and Dad aren't dead yet, because I got tired of everyone making that joke. But with things like Brave or Tangled where they are alive, there's still a separation with them. The characters' families are background elements, meant for 1 or 2 gags at best, or spend the whole movie as a bear. Encanto is a story about a family. Like, a whole-ass family. Mom, dad, aunt, uncles, a bunch of siblings and cousins, and even her grandmother. Generations of family members, and most importantly, they all play decent roles in the story. For such a big cast, you'd expect us to really only focus on 1 or 2 of the main leads, but Mirabel really interacts with the whole family regularly throughout the whole movie, which feels like a much stronger message to say Mirabel loves her family than what other Disney movies have tried to do with this topic. Subversion number 3. There's no silly animal sidekick character. Not that I hate these characters necessarily, but I can admit that I find them tiresome. Even as a kid, I was more often than not tired of their cute animal companions and their antics, and it's really impressive Encanto doesn't rely on this because there's actually a bunch of different animals they could have relied on to act as this trope. Bruno's is rats, Luisa's donkeys, Antonio's jaguar, hell, that one toucan. I know when I first saw that bird, that's where I thought this was going, but no.
But at least I'll have a friend. Nope, he flew away immediately.
Despite the fact these creatures are all animated and distinct and fun and wacky, not a single one of them fall into the role of that cutesy animal sidekick. And I'm happy none of the family members filled that role either. I could definitely see a lesser version of this script turning Luisa into that sort of limited gag character, and I'm glad they didn't decide to go that route. And finally, Subversion number 4. There's no bad guy, which isn't even a Disney trope, just a storytelling concept, but I was amazed that Disney was capable of telling a story without a villain. Well, like, there is sort of a villain, but like, it's different. It's not Disney's usual affair, where they're unforgivable, ugly, consumed by greed, malicious, hateful, mustache-twirlingly villainous. No, instead, Encanto presents us with a very grounded and honestly real approach to the villainous aspect of the story. One that, quite frankly, a lot of people have probably experienced in their own lives. And I'm amazed Disney decided to execute the story this way. And more impressive is the fact that, honestly, most of the story isn't really even presented as a person versus person plot. It's very much a commentary of person versus self. A lot of the characters' arcs and development are about them overcoming their own self-reflections and expectations. Even Mirabelle. In a lesser story, I could see Mirabelle's whole motivation being centered around trying to get her own powers, to better fit the family and to be special too, but no. Honestly, she doesn't seem too bothered by not having magical abilities. Really, she's bothered by being seen as lesser because she doesn't have those powers. She's still insistent on trying to be as helpful for the family as best she can, despite the fact she has no out-of-the-ordinary ways of doing so. Her struggle isn't to get magical abilities just like her family, it's to be seen as an equal member of the family despite that difference. And I think not having a true villain for the story really helps elevate this plotline and the characters within it. The usual Disney villain would only muddy this message, and this sort of conflict isn't the type of thing where you can pin all the blame onto one person, or try to present it as a person who's wholly unredeemable either. Now, you might be disappointed at the fact there's no real villain for the story, because more often than not, the villain songs are the best ones in every soundtrack. Well, fortunately, despite the fact Encanto doesn't really have a villain, it does still have a villain song, and it's awesome. Which leads me right to our next point. I guarantee you've heard at least one of the songs from Encanto by now. Hell, I can't seem to go more than 3 minutes without one of them popping up on my TikTok's For You page. And you know what? The songs 100% deserve all the praise it's gotten. It's been a long time since I've enjoyed a Disney soundtrack as much as this. Tangled's soundtrack was mostly forgettable, and Frozen's just sucked complete ass. Oh, Let It Go is so good. Not even. It's just a generic pop song, and Idina Menzel can definitely belted out a lot better than that. And she was just overall underutilized in the whole soundtrack. Now, Encanto's songs hit on a different level, being closely tied to its actual cultural influences for the setting, which also helped make Moana and Coco's soundtracks a lot better than the average as well. But Encanto's songs are elevated from a story perspective. This is the first time in a while where this Disney animated musical actually uses its soundtrack like, well, a musical. With Disney's other animated features, it mostly felt like the songs were sort of just thrown into the middle of scenes. They didn't really help move the characters or the plot along very well, making it feel like the story and the songs were two separate elements entirely. Like mixing water and oil. Yeah, they can sit on top of each other, but they're not blending together to help each other out. For example, Frozen. The only song I actually like from that movie is the first one, the one about ice and whatever. What a failure of a moment from a story perspective. During this song, we could have helped establish the world we're in a little bit better. Help construct the idea that this world has magic and trolls, or at the very least, help establish the fact that Sven is an orphan boy. I always thought one of these guys was his dad, and then later finding out he was raised by the trolls just made no sense, and it came out of nowhere. In musicals, songs are used as an element for the plot. We progress the story or develop a character through the use of song. But when there's just a bunch of songs that don't actually progress anything like that, it's a failure of the medium, or at the very least, a sloppily executed one. Using Frozen again as another example, think about this from a storytelling perspective. Oh my god, Anna's been shot with a magical ice bullet. She's sick and dying and needs medical aid right away. Don't worry, the trolls I grew up with can help. Oh god, this seems really bad and she seems really sick and might actually die. Hey, let's stop everything to sing a song about how we want you two to date. Go on, date. Ask her out. Marry the dude. Go on. Let's waste 3 minutes on this dumbass song. Oh wait. Now that the music has stopped playing, let's go back to acting like Anna's really sick and in need of dire aid. What? Do you see how narratively that didn't flow together at all? How the song felt like a complete separate entity from the given circumstances of the story and characters? That is what I mean as a failure of the medium. Encanto not only has fun, visually entertaining, catchy songs, but they fit the flow of the narrative perfectly. Each song offers insight into the world or characters in some way. Even my least favorite song from the soundtrack, The Family Madrigal, serves an important narrative purpose, establishing the family relations and their magical powers. No, oh, I didn't realize Sven was raised by trolls here. The song is perfectly used instead of droning exposition. And the rest of the soundtrack excels at helping the story along while continuing to develop the large cast. It's fantastic. There's even 2 whole songs sung entirely in Spanish, and one of them definitely made me cry. You know which one. Also, little things, but I love how the voice actors and actresses do all their own singing too. The music helps make the story, and the story helps make the music. I know it sounds sort of reductive to say, I had fun, but that's really the easiest way I could boil it down to. The movie is fun, and every twist and turn had me thrilled to be watching. I found this movie surprisingly hard to predict, and I think that helped make me become fully enthralled by it. Specifically, the characters' developments and desires caught me off guard. I really thought the family was going to be much more confrontational and one-dimensional. I did not expect to be so charmed by every member of the Madrigal family, and so invested in their development together. Also, the story is very stationary. It only takes place at the casita, and I found it very fascinating and a great change of pace. So many Disney movies nowadays have been about running around the whole ass world or whatever, and I'm glad this didn't try to become some mega grand epic. Because that didn't really work very well last time, huh? This smaller, tighter story about a family not only felt much more relatable, but also much more refined as a story. Also, little thing from a marketing perspective, I'm super glad they didn't go with what I refer to as the Disney bitch face. One eyebrow raised, a smirk, just like gross girl boss energy, really. They've overused this expression for all their female leads for so long that it has a vapidity to it. And I thought they had finally dropped this trend for Raya and the Last Dragon, but no, they just gave this fucking expression to the damn dragon, come on! So I was instantly surprised that the movie's poster didn't try to follow up on this trend. For a second, I didn't even realize it was a Disney movie because of that, and I hope it's the beginning of Disney really trying to portray an interesting character, rather than trying to pretend our heroine is some sort of saucy, sassy, whatever this is. Because this facial expression and the way she holds her body tells me way more about her character and her arc than this garbage. And by this point, I don't really know what else I could say, at least from a critique point of view. I've laid out my main reasons the story not only intrigued me from the get-go, and also stuck with me after my first viewing, but how it then convinced me to watch it again and then again afterwards. If you haven't seen it, I still highly encourage you to do so. Everyone won't shut up about it for a reason, and now I just kinda wanna gush about some random things I really like about the movie. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's talk about character design. I think it's really cute how the triplets' families are color coordinated with each other. Like, Peppa and her husband and her kids all wear yellow, Julieta's family all wear blue, and Bruno is the only one who wears green because he didn't have any wife or kids. Bruno's green is a very unique way to basically trick the audience into thinking he was going to be a villain. Not only does We Don't Talk About Bruno paint him as some sort of Dr. Facilier, Ursula-esque evil guy, but lots of times green is associated with villains, especially in Disney cartoons. Though if you know a little bit about color theory, some of you might have guessed Bruno was going to be a good guy based on the fact that Mirabelle is the only other person who wears green. It's on her glasses. It's also cool that we've gotten another hero who wears glasses, someone else to stand alongside the likes of Harry Potter and because glasses are cool and sexy, and people who wear glasses are awesome. Mirabelle actually has little patches up and down her outfit that symbolize her other family members, and I think it's a cute way to hint that she really does love her family and isn't resentful for them. Back onto what I was saying about the families being color coordinated, you might have noticed Isabella doesn't really fit that mold, because she's in this pinkish purplish dress. Fuck. Instead, she's in this pinkish, purplish dress. That's because, since she's the family mascot and essentially Abuela's successor, her outfit is actually meant to be a fit between Julieta's blue and Abuela's red. Then, after the song I Wonder What Else I Can Do, she changes her outfit into a royal blue, so she fully matches her parents and sisters. A really cute visual representation to show that their bad blood has been resolved. While we're on character design, I want to gush about how fun it is Encanto uses a bunch of different body types, but not like in a goofy, exaggerated kind of way. I love how Luisa is just really tall and really strong. We don't see a lot of Disney girls who aren't akin to a Barbie doll, especially not in the main cast. I love how Felix is shorter than Peppa. We never get to see movies where the husband is the shorter one of the duo, unless there's some sort of mean exaggeration of the idea. While we're on Tio Felix and Tia Peppa, they are the best characters. Oh my god, I love them. They're so much fun, they're so animated, they're so cute together. Look at this wholesome, supporting couple right here. Oh my god, they're fantastic. Augustine is hilarious and just a treasure. Underrated character for sure.
Think of the family.
I was thinking of my daughter.
During the song Surface Pressure, I really love the shot where Luisa fixes Maribel's glasses for her. That's just so sweet. The way Jessica Barrow delivers this line is so adorable.
But then when I went to throw the donkeys in the barn, they were heavy.
And John Leguizamo delivers the funniest line, in my opinion.
I'm Jorge. I make the spackle.
Fucking Jorge at the end, helping to rebuild the casita. This movie is so cute. And I guess to wrap that all up, here's my favorite line from each of my 3 favorite songs in the movie.
The ship doesn't swerve as it heard how big the iceberg is.
But I'll still be okay. And I clear the way.
Seize your dreams, seize sound screams.
I suppose that's all I really have to say about Encanto. I can't just keep gushing about how much I love it. It's fun, colorful, unique, and incredibly relatable. Mirabel's struggle is one a lot of people could find similarities to in their own lives. And it's cool Disney has seemingly actually taken strides to kick off their old tropes and to try something new, to do something creative and different, whether it was with the character design, music choice, or plot progression. I can't sing its praises enough. Encanto is a 10 out of 10 from me. Wait, is his name Sven? Or was the reindeer Sven? God damn it, Olaf!
Stop it, Sven.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to my $10 patrons. You're all amazing. Nako, James Dodds, Cool Duck, Andrew, Ramiel, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, G Extreme, Classy Critic, Sunny Shy, Great Bar, Caleb Grimm, Pentamenta, Jake, Storm, Amber, Lolith, Livid Aries, Hype Man, Luno, Zero to Hero, Keithan, Isaiah, and Joshua. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Literally just tell me any and all thoughts you have about the movie or anything I said in this review. What's your favorite song? And like, why do you like Encanto so much? Any and all thoughts and opinions about anything I said or the movie, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.